The wrinkles are setting in and the glasses are slipping off our face because this is Comment Force number 60. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here. It's been a glorious week over here at the channel because there's been so much to talk about. So much news, from the revelations about the online service to the revelations about Virtual Console not being a thing, to a bunch of SKUs appearing on GameStop and the confirmation of the floor plans. It's just been a really big, bold week when it comes to Nintendo. So we got some juicy comments, Gabe. This is like, I don't know, like it's a combination of lemon juice, blueberry juice, which is a rare juice, by the way, and also watermelon juice. Have you ever had watermelon juice?
Yeah, I've had all those juices.
You don't sound so you're not a juice boy?
Well, yeah, but the combination of them is what puts me off.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Did you ever do when you were like younger? Me and Jake would always, like, not always, I guess, but occasionally play this game of like, hey, you can pick 5 random food items, combine them in a glass, mix it up, and the other person has to drink it.
I played a much more juvenile and messed up version of that we can't get into.
Okay, goodness gracious. I thought mine was messed up, but yeah.
No.
All right, well, hey, thank you for not leaving us too many messed up comments. A lot of good ones this week. Your thoughts, theories, ideas, and excursions are appreciated.
I have a comment.
Yeah. You have a comment?
Yeah, I have a comment.
For Comment Force?
Yeah, I have a comment for Comment Force. Zach.
Yeah.
What would you do when we are past the 100 mark and you have to stop making references to the episode number being related to age? So let's say we're on episode 200. What are you going to do for that?
I'm going to have to find a new shtick.
Because you equate this to age quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, we're at 60.
I'm very terrified of aging, Gabe.
I'm aware. I wonder what you're going to do with that.
I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm going to have to find a new way to relate numbers to fun. Or maybe Gabe will just start making puns with your name.
Right.
Gabe the Babe is here again, episode 212.
Okay.
Also, I love that you're already just like assuming Comment Force lasts till episode 200. That puts us in like the year 2021.
That's a dangerous assumption. My bad.
It's a good. Hey, I like danger. Some people call me Mr. Dangerous. But some people also are called Cricket Style J. And we'll start with his comment, who says, the absence of new Joy-Con colors is probably because they're going to release an updated model, technologically or functionally updated, not just cosmetically. If they wait just a few months, they can avoid releasing a product that will quickly become obsolete. Now, obviously, this is just pure conjecture, but how do you feel about the concept or idea that a new model of Joy-Con could be announced at some point soon?
I mean, there was that news that, like, hey, we're fixing, was it the left Joy-Con? One of the Joy-Con is getting fixed. Like,
yeah, one of the Bluetooth.
It's a new version of a Joy-Con that's exactly the same. So, no, I mean, they could have, like, announced them and still had the new ones coming. I don't know. Yeah.
I genuinely don't think this is happening.
You think?
At least not until there's an iteration of the Switch. I do not think they start splitting the Joy-Con marketplace at all.
You don't think a Joy-Con Pro would be cool? Or like, hey, we get it like an actual D-pad?
I guess I just think about logistically, how does that work, right? So
sell a single Joy-Con.
Now you have to code your game for both? Or is it just now it's another...
No, dude, it still just works the same. It's just a D-pad. I'm just talking about specifically a D-pad, nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then what? Do you sell... Is it just one color?
Yeah,
is it just like, hey, a bright red, white, black... I just don't think this happens. Maybe when we get an updated Switch at some point, like a mid-cycle update. I don't know what... If they haven't done it already, I don't know. Maybe when they need to like sort of grease the wheels a bit later on, but right now I don't see any need for that, and I feel like it would just dilute the... Like, okay, if there's a Joy-Con Pro, why are you ever buying a non-Joy-Con Pro?
Because it costs less.
Oh, so now it's like
yeah,
$80 for one? Goodness gracious, this gets all sorts of messy. I just want new colors. They can keep the Joy-Con as they are. Yeah.
All right. Lucky Paula Studio says, in the past, I never played indie games. Now with the Switch, I tried out some indie games and I love them as much as AAA games. In the past, I only played AAA or handheld games. Nintendo Switch is my favorite console and handheld. I'm looking forward to Pokemon Switch, Metroid Switch, and Freedom Planet, 1 and 2. There's so many games I'd love to play, and I'm excited for these games. I wish there was a dinosaur game. I love dinosaurs. This is such a cute and innocent comment. I love it.
Dinosaurs are cool. Can you think of any dino games? Ark is coming to Switch, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a dino game.
Yeah, for sure.
Monster Hunter now coming westward. That's a
Those are monsters.
sort of dino. Dinosaurs are monstrous. Have you ever come face to face with the dinosaur?
A couple of times. They made a movie about me.
They did.
Yeah, in a park.
Gabe, actually, you remind me a lot, not of the Good Dinosaur, not the Pixar one, but Dinosaur, that, like, straight Dinosaur, the Disney movie. Like, you remind me of the main character a lot.
Oh, okay. Why? I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, he's just, he looks a lot like you.
Oh, okay. So that's all right.
Not that you look like a dinosaur, but just, I don't know, something about...
All right.
Okay, like, he is an iguanodon, and he was a surviving egg. Like, all the other eggs kind of, like, got broken, and he survived.
I did survive.
And his name is Aladar.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, back to the comment, though. Thank you for being open-minded, Lucky Paola. Thank you for checking out indie games, and thank you for mixing indies with AAA to make a beautiful concoction. I think this approach would behoove everyone, and yes, more dinosaur games.
Okay.
Moving right along, Travis Stint says, I only expect Pokemon to be in the treehouse, not actually playable by visitors. And this was something that was echoed quite a bit on our E3 floor plan video. Multiple people believed that Pokemon is too difficult to display, I guess, or hasn't been a part of the presentation in the past, or to show on the show floor, so that it would be a component of the treehouse. I cannot foresee, if Pokemon is to be a part of the show, because it is console-based and because it would be a headliner for their current main platform, this has to have a tentpole level introduction and presence, right?
Yeah, just logistically, right? Like the Treehouse gets so many fewer viewers than the actual presentation. I really don't believe so. Like, look, if they announce it during the presentation, like, and they show like a little trailer, yeah, like they could show more gameplay at the Treehouse and not have it playable at E3. Like, that's fine. But for it to get announced at a Treehouse, no.
Well, and we did announce no, but what about like not being playable? What about being like shown off only at the Treehouse?
Well, you know how I feel about Pokemon at E3. Period. But yeah, I mean, I guess
I think you got to look at what is their focal point, right? And like when Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon, at some level that was a secondary unveiling. If Pokemon is there, like outside of Smash Brothers, is the biggest thing going on, and I feel like absolutely it will be treated as such, because however you feel about Pokemon, obviously it is a major franchise when it was handheld, but bringing it to the forefront on Switch, like, to me, that just ups the ante so much.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they will treat it as such. It would be bonkers to me if Pokemon is a major part of that presentation and then absent from the show floor, especially if it's to see a November or December release.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll have to see.
Yes.
Jonathan says, I heard Epic Games has a booth for this E3. Does this mean that they will introduce Fortnite for the Switch in their booth, or will Epic just have a brand new game? If Fortnite isn't in their booth, what is the possibility that Nintendo booth showcases Fortnite? What are your thoughts? I would really enjoy this game on the Switch. I play a lot of Rocket League on the Switch. Is it possible they could bring Fortnite on the Switch?
Possible, yes. Likely, we've gone up, down, left, right, back and forth.
I still feel it's likely at some point.
I do too. I mean,
I will say this. I don't think that Epic having a booth has anything to do with it being on Switch. I think it's completely separate. I think there's a lot of cool stuff coming to Fortnite, and I do think that their booth it's a Fortnite booth. It's not an Epic booth for the most part. They have others.
It is substantial. Yeah. It's sizable.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, Zach, but 1 versus 100. A lot of kiosks.
Oh God, yeah. There's no way, right? There's no way that they have 100 kiosks.
Yeah, why not?
Oh my God.
10 rows of 10? Yeah, dude, totally.
I mean, there's nothing to prevent Epic from trying to, springboard off of Fortnite into other games. I know they're not messing with Paragon anymore, but that's not to say that they can't announce something new. I absolutely think it will be part of Fortnite. If you're asking, like, where would Fortnite be at E3, I think it would absolutely be in both, if it is there. The back and forth of, like, oh, it's 100% a thing. Oh, we have no knowledge that it's a thing. I don't even know how I feel about that anymore. I think I feel like just ignore it because it's been discussed ad nauseum and we're close to E3. Let me ask you this, Gabe. If it does not get announced at E3, are you, like, jumping off that ship, or do you think it's coming still just next year or something?
It'll still come at some point, I feel like. Epic has been vocal about them wanting Fortnite
What is the
playable
delay,
everywhere.
though?
I don't know. I have no idea. They want it playable everywhere, though. They've said that. So I think it's happening. It's just, I don't know when. Maybe not even at E3.
I do think that would be as silly and obvious as it seems, I think that would vault Nintendo's conference quite a bit.
Which is sad because you don't even play Fortnite.
I think I would play it on Switch.
Okay.
I think.
I don't.
Is it wrong of me to assume that I think it would be easy, easier, I guess, on Switch?
That is wrong of you because by all accounts, if this happens on Switch, it's going to be crossplay.
Okay.
And you will...
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
That's not going to work for you.
So I don't think they'll screw it up and not go crossplay.
Yeah.
All right, let's make a prediction. Is Fortnite at E3?
No.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
A little bit of no, a little bit of yes, a little bit of Dark Knight, Gabe. Batman has bestowed a question upon us. Will they just reveal Smash gameplay, or will they reveal new characters too? Now, I'm not sure I like the phrasing of this, but I did want to ask, how do you think this goes? Because typically the way that we've been introduced to Smash Brothers is via character trailers. I mean, obviously there's factors we don't need to discuss about port versus new game, but how do you think they unveil this at E3 as sort of their featured part of the presentation?
I mean, you have to do both. You have to show the game. You have to show gameplay.
No, I know you have to show game, but do you think that it is... Do they, Mario Tennis Aces / Splatoon it out where, hey, new attack, if you click over plus R, we'll do... is it granular like that? Is it all via just character trailers, spliced in throughout the presentation? How do you foresee them showing
you
this?
said you didn't want to really touch on it, but it just depends on what the game is.
I suppose.
If it's a new game, we want to see the new stuff. So, yeah, you get a little bit more granular about the changes, I guess. If it's a port, then, new character trailers and the tournament is where you're going to catch most of the gameplay, I would assume. It's going to be...
That's a good point, Gabe. I do wonder then if the focal point of the presentation is unveiling new characters, given that so much of the game is going to be exposed via the tournament.
Yeah, that would be my thought, at least. I have no idea.
But you do have to establish who's even there, right? Before you get to new characters, don't we kind of need to know, who's returning?
Some are safe assumptions, right? Mario's going to be there. Link is going to be.
Yeah, I just mean, okay, Breath of the Wild Link is...
Yeah.
Okay, my thing is, I think they definitely need to spend a few minutes establishing what this game is, and then I do think they'll also do some new character trailers, and we've seen some people suggest, maybe they'll show some at the Treehouse. I mean, that stupid leak that I don't even want to give any credit to said that they'd be revealing some of the presentation and some of the Treehouse. I don't think that's a crazy assumption.
Yeah.
So I predict big gameplay blowout, a couple minute chunk during the presentation, get more gameplay during the tournament, see how it all works and how it all plays, and then a couple new character trailers, exciting ones. I don't think it's we've got Bowser back, we've got Toon Link. I think you'll get some exciting characters, and then I assume that they'll handle the marketing just like they have the others, that leading up to September, when we expect the game to launch, there will be, they'll dot the dates with character trailers along the way and kind of keep that buzz rolling and build to whatever their eventual launch date is.
I can see that playing out exactly like that. In the meantime, though, Zach, Travis Scott takes a break from being a dad and says, I'm sure there will be some sort of new Zelda announcement for the Switch at this year's E3. It's the 20th anniversary of Ocarina, so I'm sure there will be something coming very soon. If I had to guess, I would say maybe Majora's Mask HD or Skyward Sword HD. I'd be shocked if nothing Zelda related is announced.
Zelda and E3, how you feel?
It's tough. I can see a port. I mean, yeah, Skyward Sword HD, Majora's Mask HD. Sure. Although, God, we just got Breath of the Wild. and obviously these are not on the same scale. But
I really don't think that Zelda is at E3 at all. I mean, I know we saw that level designer being hired. It's not to say that they couldn't do something handheld or, a port.
I can see a port. Yeah, I wouldn't be blown away if a port is announced.
I would bet my money that you see something Mario much more likely than you see something Zelda.
What does something Mario mean?
Mario Party.
Okay. All right.
Mario.
So there's a number of things.
Baseball.
Yeah. Okay.
Mario Maker.
Sure.
I don't know that they go an E3 without either character, like being, some part. I mean, they're going to be in Smash, I guess, but yeah, I think this is a no Zelda year. I mean, Majora's Mask HD is already out on 3DS, so I don't think that's...
Well, that's not HD, but yeah.
Okay, Majora's Mask 3D, sorry.
Yeah. Just for semantics, sorry.
Yeah, I just don't think that that's even, like, on the table, in my opinion. The only one that makes sense is Skyward Sword HD, I feel.
Yeah.
But I don't know that... I don't know.
I don't think Zelda's going to be at E3 either, but it wouldn't surprise me, just because it's, like, such a big franchise for them. So, I mean, I would never be surprised of them doing something Zelda related. Yeah, they're always working on stuff. There's still a lot of stuff they can port. So, yeah, I don't think
also
so. Also,
just like timing wise, right? Like,
yeah, where do you even put it? Like in the calendar year? Like, I mean, I guess you can, like in October maybe, but you have other stuff that you need to put out. You still got to put out Fire Emblem. You still got to put out a presumed Pikmin game that I really feel is coming. Smash is September. And if you want to believe Pokemon is coming, that needs a month to itself. So yeah, I don't know.
Call me a heathen, but I would much rather get any of those than a Zelda port.
Well, you're getting these.
I mean, like, well, when you mention like Pikmin or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're getting Pikmin.
Like, please don't give me a Zelda port this fall.
We'll see.
Fire Zone says, this GameFAQs leaker has no sources. Nintendo said they would reveal stuff about the online service early May. The whole first week of May is Golden Week, which is a week full of holidays in Japan. That leaves the first day back to work for everyone as May 7th, which makes sense since Nintendo said early May. Just an educated guess to get that date correct. I also knew it would be sometime this week, although I thought there would be a direct midweek with other things like Yoshi and more in-depth look at online service. So Fire Zone is putting out the idea that it was not anything special that this guy guessed May 7th, because it was the first day back, it was after Golden Week, it was after the financial reports, so that's the obvious early May date, and I kind of like this. To me, this kind of puts a bow on Lazzy Boy's list of E3 shenanigans.
Yeah. I don't think there's a whole lot of credence to that leak either, so yeah, I don't really have much to add here.
Let's talk about another rumor-ish matter. This one is from Just Some Guy. Gabe, would you like me to read it since I dealt with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Liam Robertson, who is a freelancer, but also I think viewed as a more legit leaker than some. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean
he has more clout, I guess.
His one big call to fame was that he had a Twitter icon of a Mario plus Rabbids like photo way before anyone knew what it was. Yeah. Like before the game was announced, like whatsoever. He had assets of the game before like the game was even announced.
Let's just say this. It seems like he tries to go more of the traditional journalistic channels to acquire his information rather than the just randomness that we see a lot on Twitter.
Agreed.
Okay, so he posted this interesting image of a Mario question block beneath a magnifying glass with a purple background, and then he followed that up by updating his Twitter profile picture and cover photo with magnifying glasses around an E-Tank from Mega Man and a Samus logo from Metroid. And Just Some Guy, we were sleuthing out in a video earlier this week. You can check it out if you want more details. But Just Some Guy says, can't help but notice all the M's. Magnifying glass, Mario, Metroid, Mega Man. I can't say no what the heck is the significance of this, but it's something to think about. That is a lot of M's, Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
So what we were thinking was that this may be related to Game Boy Advance because purple, the indigo colorway that the system launched with, and all of these franchises played a major role in the library of the Game Boy Advance. But this new idea that it's M-related, maybe it's like a deeper tease than we thought, and it's hinting at like some people supposed, Mother, some people supposed Mini.
Liam came back and said obviously people talked about, because at first he said, yes, I'm teasing something.
Right.
And then people were starting to say things, and then he said, I never said I was teasing a Switch game. That's what he said. So I don't know. There's going to be something to this, clearly.
Well, just to be clear, he said, why do people think I'm going to reveal a Switch game?
Oh, okay. All right, so my phrase is wrong.
So yeah, I don't think he's going to reveal, but I don't know what this is teasing at this point. The M thing is very interesting. It could just be semantics and coincidence. I mean, one cannot escape the fact that there are a lot of M-related characters in the Nintendoverse. I still think this is GameCube or Game Boy related. The purple is too obvious.
Yeah. I really hope so. Yeah. All right. So now, BCT Alicorn says, glad to see Bayonetta so high on the list. However, sad to see that Xenoblade didn't even get in the top 10. I'm really happy you guys like ARMS as much as I do, though Xenoblade is definitely better and more fun than ARMS. Needless to say, the Switch is killing out these games. Can't wait for Smash, Pokemon, and Metroid. Zach, I want to talk about this first.
A lot of people had this same sentiment. I don't know if you saw.
And this is why I told you I didn't even want to order these things. Because, like, you and I can have the conversation of, hey, like, this is how we're going to do it, but they don't know what went on behind there. And
well, we did explicitly say this was a list based on our personal likes.
Yeah, but then they also got to realize, like, there's two of us, right? So no matter how much I like Xenoblade, I think Xenoblade is a top 10 Switch game. Zach doesn't, like, that's not his genre as much, right? So we have to conform a little bit. We have to figure out where we're going to land on these things. So with the absence of that knowledge of how we went about it exactly, like, yeah, like I knew that ordering it wasn't a cause what it caused.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it's fun. I still think you can enjoy a list without it being like this perfected list of perfection. I mean,
you missed the memo. The memo that says that, yeah, the memo that says that if your list is different than my list, then Zach, we gotta have a fight.
And I thought it was interesting that so many people like straight up were just confident that like Xenoblade 2 is better than this and better than this and better than this. I mean, at some level it becomes pretty just, it's opinionated, right? It's not fact. And obviously there's genre bias and there's nostalgic bias and there's playtime bias and all that. But like, I don't know. I think outside of the top 5, it's a list that could be ordered however you see fit. And it depends what you value. Like, Doom was received and reviewed very well. Skyrim, for some people, is like one of the best games of all time. So are we blasphemously putting Skyrim way too low on that list? You know, like...
If I'm honest, I don't pay this any mind. Like, it's impossible.
I don't either. I was just surprised to see the defenders of Xenoblade come out in such droves. Like, I guess I didn't know that game was so beloved, because I very much felt like that game was like, hey, a really cool, deep experience. But I thought the general consensus was like, it was fun, but it wasn't like, I don't see people being like, oh my god, go buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on Switch. Get it.
No. Well, I mean, so much of this is just more people want to like argue with us, possibly. Yeah. I think it's more that. I mean, Xenoblade is great. Again, I do think it, like, for me, it's a top 10 like Switch game. Yeah, but I mean, we came to the decisions the way we came to it. The list wasn't going to be perfect no matter what we did. There
was a lot of ARMS discussed in the comments. A lot of people were very like, they'd be like, this game is lower than ARMS. Clearly, ARMS like strikes a chord with people.
Yeah, I mean, we strike a chord with people. So
I love ARMS. I don't think ARMS is one of the best games on Switch, but I think it is very I would say that ARMS is probably the most underrated first-party game.
You say a lot of... I agree with you on that and that, but you say these things sometimes. Like when you said that Snipper Clips is overrated. I don't even know you said it on the video. I think
Snipper Clips is overrated. No, I didn't say it on the video, but hey, let's go here. The one that Gabe wanted... The one that Gabe argued with me about was Xenoblade, and the one I argued with Gabe about was Snipper Clips, because Gabe thought Xenoblade should have been notably higher, and I thought Snipper Clips should have been notably lower, because I have soured on Snipper Clips.
I love Snipper Clips. Zach says it's overrated, and that's okay. I mean,
honestly, I think lists are fun. I love when I hear podcasts or other channels discuss lists, because it's just interesting to see where people place things. And, you know, we could have made the video 2 hours long and gone through our exact reasoning, and maybe that would have prevented some of these comments, but obviously we're not going to put up a 2-hour video. It needs to be digestible. But I don't know. I just find, I know people love to argue and be like, no, but to me, lists are just so entertaining.
Honestly, this backlash in the comments is part of the fun of the list, so I don't mind it whatsoever.
No. Good on you guys. Keep defending your games of choice. Last one for the day comes from Matthew Barth, who says, we'll survive the loss of Virtual Console. The problem is lack of transparency. If Nintendo had come out at the beginning of the launch, people wouldn't be as upset. But 2 years later, people are pissed. To be fair, it's about 14 months later. And I think this is the case with so much of any negativity around Switch, whether it be the indie game scene, whether it be the virtual console scene. I think if they would just be more upfront, and I know, Gabe, a lot of times you argue that they don't know, and so like it's kind of impossible for them to state things they don't know, but I do think, hey, a more transparent outlook on the release schedule for major games would really help. Hey, a more transparent outlook on online and the virtual console would help. Maybe they did change things last minute, but like, why is it hard for them to just say like, hey, this NES game library will eventually expand to SNES and stuff? Like, why would it have been hard for them to say, hey, Yoshi is coming out? You know, like, I don't know. I do feel like, obviously they don't owe us anything, but a lot of this is due to the fact that they really enjoy keeping things close to their chest.
Well, yeah, because it leads to this, right? It leads to all these speculative videos. It leads to people talking about their franchises when they're like not doing anything. Like, so it keeps the conversation going. So why wouldn't you, as a company, do this? You want this like aura of mystery around your product so people can keep talking about it, keep speculating. Like we make, like when we're a Nintendo channel, we make a lot of speculative videos, and sometimes we're right, a lot of times we're wrong. It's okay, but that's part of the fun. And I feel like if Nintendo told you, hey, this is absolutely everything we're doing this year, bye, like, okay, like we already know everything, it just becomes less exciting.
Right. And I don't know if that is a chicken or the egg type situation where it's like, hey, we know that we are going to have the least amount of releases compared to the other major platforms, not as a first party, I just mean like as a whole, so we need to dole them out very carefully. Or if it's the case of like, because we don't announce a lot, like therefore it seems like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's like, if one is causing the other or not. Let me rephrase that to be clear. Are they more self-conscious and withholding because they have less, or is that just how they operate? And even if they had 50 games, they would be like this. But I do say that it would be a service to the consumers and the fans if they were more transparent. Same side of the coin, Matthew. I like that you say we'll survive, because I really feel that the people that are upset is a trivial amount. And I've learned that this week through the virtual console thing, because a majority of the feedback is like, who cares? I did not expect that at all. So I think that the upset we see on like, hey, too many indies, and the upset we see on like, what, virtual console? Like, I think that is a minute fraction of the audience.
I've always told you this, right? Like, and you laugh at me when I say it, but when I say it, people don't really like hate the state of indies on Switch. Like, they say they do, but they don't, because these things are still like selling super well. And yeah, like people complain about it in comment sections, but then they still go play the game and for the most part love them. So like, yeah, you can say you hate it all you want, but you're showing the complete opposite. So yeah, I've made it clear that I don't mind this virtual console thing. There's a lot of other ways to play the games. So yeah, I'll be fine.
We'll all be fine, I hope.
Hopefully.
In theory.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're right up on to the most exciting time of the year. This is freaking fantastic. 15 games added to GameStop's Codex and
Pokédex.
Pokédex, thank you. We hope it's a Pokédex. It's not a Pokédex. They don't announce Pokemon though, Gabe. So
all right.
Careful with your words, but it's a really great time. So I don't know, like, whether you're upset about virtual console or not, whether you're upset about indies or not, like, it's all about to be funnel cakes and rainbows soon. We're going to go down a water slide of wonder, and that begins very soon. So let's get out of here, Gabe. Let's get on to advice, the best part of the show every week, the most important part of the show every week. Okay. And we will start with you as always.
Self-reflection and identifying whatever little problems or big problems you might have is very important. Of course, helping, talking to others helps, and other people can be very instrumental to identifying these things. But once identified, strive towards fixing, right? Because you don't want to wallow. Wallowing is very dangerous. Wallowing is very easy as well. You know, there's times where I tell myself, oh, these problems are never getting better. Like, oh, I'm just going to like sit here and actively do nothing. And by actively doing nothing, you automatically just close whatever sliver there is of improvement. And improvement is inevitable. We all change. We all get better. And of course, things will always get better. And strive towards that and don't wallow.
It's good. Mine, I guess, is similar. Live and be an action-oriented person. Take action, 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 action. So many things will only improve via action, and that goes for relationships, for personal fulfillment, job/career, success, fun. Like, I'm really realizing how much more of an action-oriented person I need to be, and that by doing, you uncover so many more opportunities, so much more potential happiness, so much more fun than by waiting or hoping the planets align, or, just holding till a perfect scenario lines up. You kind of just can't wait around for that. And maybe it comes once in a blue moon, but you'd be so much better served, and I'm learning for myself, I'd be so much better served. Like, just do stuff, whether it's a project you want to start, whether it's someone you want to talk to, whether it's a trip you want to take. Action, action, action. And I'm going to take an action right now, Gabe, and wrap this video. So thank you so much for watching. That is Comment Force number 60. We always appreciate your involvement, your feedback, your fun ideas, your concepts, your queries, your questions. We love them, and we appreciate you a lot. This week is going to have, I think, quite a few games going on. We're back to sort of some releases. We've got Battle Chasers, Runner 3. I guess the next week and a half, next 2 weeks. There's Mega Man Legacy Collection. There's Runner 3. There's Battle Chasers. There is Hyrule Warriors. There's a lot. So we'll have good coverage of that. And hey, by the way the last week's gone, we'll probably have some leaks, some rumors, some news, some updates, maybe even some reveals. So stay tuned, stick around. We love you very much. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and us fine Switch Forcers. Follow us on Twitter and Discord if you want to be a part of Gabe's Graybeard army. And until next time, thanks so much for watching. A fantastic day. Switch Force out.